Hello everybody, welcome to round 4 here at Salvador for the GSC2012 Championship. I am Matt and it will just be me in the commentary box today because Danny is not here. So you shall get to listen to me talking to myself for an hour and a half. We are about 7 minutes away from the end of practice now. So we shall get the qualifying session underway then. Let's see who can tame this crazy track. Should be a interesting one to say the least. As, of course, this was the track last year that saw a lot of incidents with Larson having to fight his way back from a spin, by flipped over into the pit lane, and there was all sorts of general chaos and whatnot going on. Alice eventually going on to win the race, but that of course was last season. This is this season, and I'm sure a lot can change in the meantime. So this is what we can see on track at the minute, and it's with the fastest lap so far. 1 minute 8.0, that's a quick time actually from Larson and Ovi. Then it's Lee and Reed and Steele, and then Jones Herrera, and that is the end of the grid. Only 8 cars so far for the practice session. Hopefully we'll have a few more join before the race starts. Yeah, I'm going through to complete a lap. It is 1 minute 8.635. So his fastest lap is actually 0.4 off Alice's time at the minute. Timings might not be accurate because I wasn't here at the start of the session. So of course a few things will be slightly wrong in calculations on the UI, but that should sort itself out as we come on to the qualifying session, as somebody has spun somewhere and got going again. Expecting it to be Ellis, Larson and Ovi for the top 3 on the race yet again. As Larson flies across the curves in the final chicane. That final chicane is going to cause a few problems. It did last year as we came to start the race as well. Unfortunately we won't have the onboard feed for this race since it's only me, so I can't be streaming to 2 places at once. But nonetheless, we're still going to have the main feed, and that's what matters. So 3 minutes remaining of the practice session. Final preparations for everybody before they get on to the qualifying and race. Race of course being 50 minutes long. Larson slower in this lap so far. And looks like he's outbraked himself with the final hairpin. Manages to get it back for the exit though. This will not be a very quick lap, it's only 1 minute 9.5 so far. Ellis sat in the pits at the minute. At the minute he's got a 1 minute 8.025. In fact he's set that on his last lap as well. But this session doesn't really matter, it'll be the next one that counts. There's only Larson and Lee and Herrera out on track at the minute. And there's 2 minutes left until the qualifying session gets underway. This week we've also got a new UI. It doesn't look new, but certainly is, and it should be a lot better in the long run for adding and just generally adding stuff to it for future races, some of which you'll see in this race, and we've got a few other features planned for it as well coming in the next couple of races, so stay tuned for those. Elsewhere we're going to have F1 Mallorca's DTM Championship tomorrow at 10 o'clock UK time. James Reed will of course be joining me on that to commentate. They will be at Spa after a rather long break. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks now, I think. So just half a minute remaining of this session. Final chance for practice. If everyone is on a lap, this will be their last lap. James Reed has been doing this lap for 5 minutes. I think that's a bit broken. The session is now over then. It's going to be interesting to see where everyone is after qualifying. Of course, it's going to be very tight at the front yet again. So on to qualifying we go. Just waiting for the track to go green and we can get proceedings underway. Andrew Jones first out the garage. And around this long twisty pit lane, session has now started. Looks like Ellis is trying to get out alongside him as well. So Jones first one on track, and then it'll be Ellis next. Nick Ovey is in third. He's sporting a new livery to sponsor the Rush film, which is coming out soon, I think. Probably around September, October, if I'm not mistaken. Larson's on his way out of the pits as well. This is, of course, a rather tricky circuit, no room for error, and a lot of drivers found that out the hard way last season. Ellis just coming around the final hairpin. He'll be starting his flying lap soon, backing way off because looks like Andrew Jones spun in front of him. So Ellis will be the first one set a lap time. Through the tricky final chicane, start the lap. Looks like James Reed's already on the lap and going purple in the first sector, of course. Ellis is beating it by 3/10 nearly though. Corner James Reed is on at the minute. It's quite tricky to get right because you feel like you could go flat out, and then turns out you kind of got to lift off the accelerator halfway through it as Reed almost spins, and he does. So that's going to have cost Reed quite a lot of time. Is it going to cause Ellis any trouble? He's coming up to the same sort of area on the circuit. Reed is recovering. Does he manage to get it out the way? Staying well over to the left hand side, and out the way he is. Who else is out there? Larson's now purple in the first sector. Ellis, of course, setting fastest lap. James Reed. Oh, what's happened there? Ellis has made a mistake and he's caught James Reed as well. Not sure what happened to Ellis there. That was very strange. Just having a look at the replay at the minute. I wonder if he caught the barrier on the outside of turn 1. Yes, he did. He was way wide and into there. So, Larson was on a lap. Where is Larson? He's in first at the minute at 1 minute 8.2. Only just beating Ellis though. And he's slower in the first sector. Herrera is on a lap as well. Ellis and Reed look like they've gone out of pit lane to go for another run. 11 minutes remaining of the 15-minute session. Larson's up in the second sector by almost 3/10. Just the final hairpin to go, but that's not going to be how you do it. So Larson throwing away a very quick lap. He was purple in the second sector. Reed's almost done the same thing. What's Overy up to? He's currently 4th, yet to set a lap time. And this lap is only a personal best so far. And he's 0.3 seconds off in the second sector and running into the wall as well. Actually makes it round the hairpin. What can he do through the chicane across the line? He's gone 3rd with a 1 minute 8.737. So that was about 0.4, nearly 0.5 seconds off Larson. Larson, I think he's on a purple lap at the minute. Or is he on his out lap? Not sure. I think he's on his out lap actually. And it's on an out lap as well. No, he's not. He's gone 2nd, 1 minute 8.273. In fact, that's his previous time actually. So, starting his final line lap now then. He's not in improved in the first sector. Larson has improved in the first sector, they're going purple. Not improving in the second sector either. And what can Ellis do across the line? He improves his time and in fact he's gone quickest with that time. No, he's not, because Larson's already put a 1 minute 7.4. That was a quick lap by Larson. Ovi's currently third. He's not particularly quick in the first sector, but according to that he was up on Larson. He's got Jones in front of him at the minute. What can he do into the second sector? He's down 0.4 off. Is Jones going to be in the way in the hairpin? No, because Obi's managed to get through, but he's gone way too deep trying to get past him. That is not how you want to be doing that. Matt By on a lap. Reed on a lap behind him and very out of shape. How did he keep that going in the right direction? I will not know. What can Matt By do coming up to the line through the final chicane? And it's a 1 minute 13.027, stays in 9th place at the minute. So we've got 6 minutes to go then, and this is how it stands at the minute. Larson on pole with Ellis 0.228 behind, and then it's Obi, Lee, Reed, Jones still has set a time, not sure why that's not showing up, and then Herrera and Matt By rounding out the grid. Herrera currently 8th, and it's not a personal best in this first sector either. Five minutes to go. And at the minute, as it stands, Ellis has managed to get himself up into the 1 minute 7s with a 1 minute 7.702. Ovi is third with Lee and Reed 4th and 5th for 5v5 racing. Andrew Jones is 6th. And then Sim still 7th, 8 Herrera. Where's Herrera going to put him in this lap? He stays 8th, and Matt By is 9th. Nikovi just on an outlap at the minute. Flying across the curbs. What can he do on this lap? He's already slightly too deep into that corner, that's not going to help him. is up in the first sector though, but it's not any sort of personal best. Ovi quicker in the second sector as well. Could be on for a provisional pole position here. Down the straight into the final couple of corners, trying to straight line that as much as possible. Way through the air, he's gone as third. Was a personal best. Looks like the position scroll at the top of the screen isn't showing what it should be showing. Nigel Lee has just set a purple sector. Unless he's on an outlap, of course. Jones in the wall again. Jones has just rolled it. Rolled it into the pit lane by the looks of things. So Lee was on his outlap. He's down in the first sector. And he's going straight on as well. Larson choosing to come back into pit lane. There's only a minute left, so that's his session over. Ellis also doing the same, so at the minute it looks like Larson's going to be in provisional pole, followed by Ellis, OV and Lee. Then it'll be Reed, Jones, Herrera, Steele and Matt By. This could be Ovi's final attempt at this, unless of course, I'm not sure what he's doing at the minute. Is he on an out lap or an in lap? Or a flying lap? I have no idea. He's on a flying lap. And he's just done personal best second sector. Whoa, flying and rolling. Walking at 8.414, was that a personal best? I don't think so. In fact, that was his best, so that was the end of Ovi's session. Looks like everybody has finished. So Larson will be taking pole with a 1 minute 7.4, and then it'll be Ellis second, 1 minute 7.7, as we get ready for the start of the race. This could be a very interesting one, to say the least. Only 9 cars this week, so down on numbers. But hopefully we should have a good race nonetheless. Chris Cooper, of course, not with us. None of the Team Move cars are with us. So quite a few missing. Haskoff's missing as well. And for driver standings, Larsson's leading the way by 11 points from Ellis, and VTR are only about 2 points away from Team RLD in the driver standings. Not driver standings, team standings. So a good result from Larsson here could change that, but of course with only 1 car compared to Team RLD's 2, could be quite difficult. So Larsson's going to lead us around then, followed by Ellis and Ovi. 4th and 5th went to Team 5v5 Racing with Lee and Reed, and then it's Jones, Herrera and Steele, and then Matt By rounding out the grid in 9th. It's going to be 50 minutes at the Salvador circuit, and it should be very entertaining to see the say at the least. Of course there's not really much room for overtaking. So positions and grid positioning is going to be vital. The race will start before the final chicane, which is a bit odd, but that's just how things are as we come up to it now. So Larsson leads us round. Are they going to try and get 3 wide through the chicane? Looks like they are trying to do so. Everyone, I think, has made it through safely. Race is underway. So everyone did make it through safely. Reed already going down the inside of Lee to take 4th away from his teammate. Larsson starting to spread his legs already and build up a gap between him and Ellis. Larsson of course winning last time out in Taruma. Jones 6th, 7th is Herrera. By 8th at 1 plank is Sims Steele. Going to be a tricky first lap with not much room to overtake. Larsson already stretching out a 1.2, 1.5 second lead over Ellis. Ovi looked like he was under pressure from Reed. He is under pressure from Reed. Reed almost spinning. So, bit of action already into final couple of corners. Reed up into 3rd now, forcing his way through. This is the replay. Looks like Ovi was already... well, I don't know. I thought he might have forced his way through, but it doesn't look like it. Back to the action. Lee is looking at Ovi. Can he get around the outside here? He has done. So the field's starting to spread out. Ellis is 2 seconds behind Larsson. I don't think we'll see these two side by side for the entire race this time. There's a yellow flag though, which means we're going to have somebody spinning. Looks like it's Herrera that's spun according to the timing screens. Already 4 seconds between Ellis and Reed. And looks like Ovi's down to 5th now. Larsson fastest lap. Ellis can't get anywhere near that at the minute. He's about a second off that last lap. Matt By is up to, I was about to say he's up to 6th, but he's just dropped down to 9th. How has he managed that? I do not know. Has he crashed it in the final chicane again? Yes, he has. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Not sure if Matt can get himself out of there. Certainly not going to help his cause. So for the second season in a row, Matt Pye is having issues with that final chicane. And meanwhile, Larson's stretching his legs with a 3-second gap over Ellis at the minute. And Lee has actually got past Reed. Not sure when he did that. Looks like he did it quite a while ago. Oh, it's coming into turn 2, wow. Good move from Lee to get that done then on his teammate. Ovi looked like he could follow Reed. Don't think he did. And he's dropped back quite away from these now. .8 seconds quicker than Steele that last lap. Did Matt Pye manage to get himself going again? Looks like he has done. Albeit 1 lap down now. Ellis 4.5 behind, 5 seconds behind at the minute. Field already spread out. Closest battle looks like it's between Steele, Herrera and Jones at the minute. Larson's just flying ahead. Down the inside of Steele goes Herrera. Jones, does he follow him? Yes, he does. So Sim Steele losing 2 places then. 2 places in 1 corner, in fact. Jones is going to be chasing Herrera still. He's going to struggle to find a way through though. Ooh, slight contact with the wall. That put him out of shape under braking there. Oh, he's going to have outbraked himself there, wow. Herrera doing the same. Well, not sure what to make of that. Jones does get past Herrera. Herrera, of course, skipping the chicane. There's another yellow flag somewhere. So at the minute, the standings are as follows. Larson leads the way after 5 laps from Ellis and Nigel Lee, and then it's James Reed and Nick Ovey 4th and 5th. Jones is a long way behind those guys, 15 seconds behind in 6th, and then it's Herrera, Sim Steele and Matt Pye, who is already 1 lap down. Matt Pye having 2 poor races in a row at the minute. Not what he wanted really. Ellis actually managing to gain a bit of time. In fact, Larson is dropping down the order because Larson... Where's Larson? Larson's had a massive mistake here. Has he flipped it through the final chicane? Yes, he has, quite spectacularly in fact. Just got the curbs all wrong and over he went a couple of times, 2 barrel rolls at least there. That's going to cost him a lot of time. He's down to 8th place now. Or about, according to that 1 lap down, that can't be right though, can it? It might be. So Larson was leading comfortably up until that point. Still 42 minutes to go, but he's going to have to fight his way back through the field yet again, same as what he did last season. So that puts Ellis first, Lee second, Reed third at the minute, Ovi fourth, Herrera fifth, Steele sixth, and Jones seventh. Looks like Steele's got past Jones at some point. Oh, not sure what's going on with the standings at the minute, to be honest. Herrera, wow. What happened there? Of course, with the strange pit lane on this track, it does get a bit difficult to tell who's where sometimes. Oh, Herrera just clipped the inside wall and then couldn't hold it after that. Spinning right in front of Steele and just avoiding him. So that's your leader then, Ellis on lap 8. He's got a 2-second advantage over Nigel Lee at the minute. Lee was the quickest car through last lap as well. Both of these drivers need to be careful going through that final chicane. We've seen two drivers already up and over the wall so far, which is not what you want to be doing on a street circuit. And it's cost Larson a lot of time. Leading comfortably, and now he's down in 8th and 1 lap down according to the timing. Andrew Jones has managed to get himself up into 5th after Herrera's spin. Ovi's still trundling around in 4th at the minute. But we could have a battle on our hands between Ellis and Lee for the lead. And Reed isn't too far behind in 3rd at the minute, just 4.4 behind. Behind now. Looks like Reed slowly dropping back from his teammate. He's had a poor final sector, 1.5 seconds off what Lee managed. Lee ever so slowly catching Ellis, 0.2 up in this first sector, gaps down to 2 seconds. Larson somehow got to make his way back through the field from 8th, so he's seconds behind the next car at the minute. Gap between Lee and Ellis is rapidly decreasing. It's down to 1.4, so it's about 0.7 seconds this lap. Reed was quicker than Lee through the last lap though, so Reed might be coming back. No one's made a pit stop yet, but I'm sure they will start appearing in the next 5 minutes or so, I think. Ovi still in 4th. He's got a good gap behind him of 30 seconds at the minute. So the really interesting battle is of course for the lead between Ellis and Lee. and that's probably the closest battle on track at the minute. Herrera and Steele are quite close together as well for 6th and 7th. Oh, Lee, big mistake there. He's made contact with the wall. He's managed to avoid a bigger accident than what some people have had through there though. It's going to cost him a bit of time, and it has done because the gap's back up to 2.5. Looks like we're coming up to lap by very shortly. Reed is slowly catching his teammate actually, gets down to 3.5 seconds. Ellis has made it past by. Can Lee make it past before the final chicane? No, he won't. Lee taking it a bit easier through there than what he did last lap. Larson 20 seconds behind him still for 7th. Lee finally gets past Steele. I don't think he lost too much time though. My by even, not him Steele. Gap 2.7, 3.2. It's not ideal for Lee, as that's Larson actually making his way back through the field to unlap himself. He's much quicker than Lee at the minute. About 2 seconds a lap quicker at the minute, according to the final last lap. Reed's also making his way through the traffic. Not too far behind Lee now. That's very wide. Doesn't want to be doing that too often. Larson manages to unlap himself into the chicane. Reed looks like he's pitting. First pit stop of the day by the looks of things. So into his box he comes. Where will this feed him out? He should be able to get out ahead of Herrera for 5th, I think. Depends if there's any sort of damage to repair. Doesn't look like it. Jones is pitting as well. Reed making his way out of pit lane at a very, very slow pace. Herrera and Steele have both got past him. So Reed down to 6th for now through the stops. Of course, such a long pit lane and a short lap is of course going to lose quite a lot of time. Lee falling back behind Ellis as well. 4.1 seconds is the gap now. Although we gained 3/10 on the last lap. Reed looks like he's got a bit of damage on the side of the car there. Jones just exited pit lane 2 minutes in there. Looks like he had quite a bit of damage to repair. Everyone is fairly spread out now though. Herrera has got Steele closing in on him about 2 seconds behind. But I think the pit strategy is going to be what plays a part here, because it is going to be a lot of time lost in the pits. As Reed has found out, dropping down to 7th from what was 3rd at the time, just making a routine stop. So of course he's going to get stuck in quite a bit of traffic. 30 minutes to go. Ovi looks like he's catching Lee ever so slightly on that last lap. But Lee's certainly dropping back from Ellis now after his earlier charge in the race. Gap is up to 5 seconds and he lost 0.6, nearly 0.7 seconds on that last lap. And into the pit lane comes Lee. Where's this going to feed Lee back out? He's got 40 seconds to the car behind him, which is Herrera. Whether he will... I don't think he will, because you need about a minute to make the stop, so he's going to be behind Steele, I think. Can he rejoin ahead of Reed though? That is the question. Where is Reed at the minute? On his way around the penultimate corner, coming up to the chicane at the end. I think Lee is way out ahead. He has. He's not even lost the place to Herrera. Oh, he has. It's in 4th at the minute. No, he's in 6th apparently. There's Reed, only what, 4.5 seconds behind, so Reed did lose a bit of time in that stop, probably stuck behind a couple of cars along the way. It's all looking pretty good for Team RLD at the minute though. They're 1-2 and a 50-second gap between Ovi and Herrera. Herrera of course had a sink at the minute, making his way up through the grid through pit stops so far. Larson somehow up into 4th. He's got himself back on the lead lap. And he's into the pit lane. Where's this going to put Larson then? He was, I think he was about 8th before the stops started. The problem we've got here is it's such a strange pit lane that the timing systems get very confused as to where everybody is. They do sort themselves out eventually, but it confuses a lot of people for quite a while. Larson on his way. Where's this going to put him? According to timing, he's going to be ahead of Lee and Reed, but I don't think that'll be right. No, it's not, because Lee's just gone through. Does Reed do the same? Looks like he has done. So Larson 7th. Two laps down apparently. I'm not sure if that's entirely right, but I'll have to go with what I'm told. 27 minutes remaining. Still Herrera and Steele fairly Ooh, by not getting that right. So, as I was saying, Steele and Herrera are still fairly close together. There's about 4 seconds between them. That's the closest battle on track. And then Reed is chasing down his teammate Lee for 5th at the minute. Team RLD first and second still. Their pace isn't amazing, but so far, through various different incidents and pit stops, it has got them into first and second. Herrera's going for a long first stint. Looks like it could be one stopping this, as I think that was Ellis making his way into pit lane for the first time, which is the 26 minutes to go. So Ovi, of course, inherits the lead from Ellis for the meantime. Where is this going to put Ellis in regards to traffic though? That's going to be important. Reed is kind of staying at the same sort of gap back to Lee at the minute. Keep an eye on that as we go, because that is really the closest battle we've got at the minute on track. So Ellis rejoins in second place, I do believe, according to the timing systems anyway. It's going to be fun trying to figure out where everybody is. Herrera's just come into pit lane, he's third at the minute. He's in a battle with Matt By. Looks like Ovi's coming into pit lane as well. No, Herrera's in a battle with Steele actually, not Matt By. I'll get it right in a minute. Matt By is pitting. Ovi's pitting, Herrera's pitting, so 3 cars in pit lane at the minute. Looks like Matt By is on his way. Seems Steele is apparently leading. Not sure if that's entirely true. Lee and Reed back into third and fourth then after the stops. And I should think Ellis will filter through back into the lead, will he? Where is Ellis at the minute? Somewhere in the second sector, I think. Herrera on his way out of pit lane. Still on his way into pit lane from the lead. Larson's up to 7th. Ellis is 4th after the stops. I think timing is caught up now. Reed is now 7 seconds behind Lee, so that battle seems to have kind of died down now. So Reed joining in 4th apparently is Steele. I think Ovi will be making the place back up. Still 6th according to this. So that means Larson's in 5th now. And really there's not anybody all that close together. Ellis and Ovi 3rd and 4th. So at the minute it's 5v5 Racing leading the way. with Lee first and James Reed second, 6 seconds behind. 21 minutes remaining. Reed with an 8.1 second lead over Ellis at the minute. Sounds like someone's just made a mistake in the chicane. No yellow flags though, so they probably got away with it, perhaps clipping the wall around here somewhere. I think Reed's actually catching Lee back up now actually. Gets into 4.6 and it was 2 seconds quicker almost on the last lap, so I wonder if Lee got held up in traffic at any point. He's got Larson behind him. He is of course a lap down. Oh, that's not where you want to be going, Lee. Almost missing the chicane completely there, managing to just sneak his way around. But you can see Reed is catching Lee by 1.2 seconds on the last lap. With 20 minutes to go. Now, Ellis and Ovi both pitted at the halfway mark, whereas Lee and Reed pitted about 5 or 10 minutes before that. So it's going to be interesting to see if Team RLD can pull off a one-stopper here. But on the other hand, can 5v5 Racing build up enough gap with a two-stopper to actually kind of make sure they cancel out the possible one-stopper from RLD? Definite yellow flag out there. It's already cleared. Another lap completed for Nigel Lee then. Reed is back to 5.5 behind him. So, at the minute, after 25 laps, Lee is leading the way, followed by James Reed, Dave Ellis, Nick Ovey third and fourth. Then it's Jan Larson after his earlier accident in fifth, Tim Steele is sixth with Herrera seventh, Andrew Jones is eighth and Matt By is ninth. Only 5 cars out of the 9 on the lead lap so far. "17 minutes remaining." And James Reed is in the pit lane, which is a surprise. perhaps a bit earlier than I was expecting, but then again there's only 16 minutes to go. This is going to be crucial. Ellis has already gone through. Is Ovi going to get through as well? Looks like he could do. He's only 5 seconds behind. And Reed isn't even out of his box yet. Away Reed goes. Very, very slow pit lane. Ovi's just gone through, I think. And Larsson's through as well. I think Larsson will probably have to pit again though. Well, according to live timing, Larsson's through, but on screen he's actually behind. So Reed is currently 5th, rejoining 5th after his pit stop. Ellis 20 seconds behind Nigel Lee. Nigel Lee, I should think, won't be far off pitting himself. Reed is apparently behind him still as well. I'm sure that'll fix itself once we get round to the start-finish line. Larsson looks to be quite a bit quicker than Reed here actually. Larsson making his way around the outside. Don't think that's for position. It might be, but really is quite hard to tell. Sun's starting to set here in Salvador. Coming up to 6 PM local time. Herrera up ahead. Is this a pass for position? According to live timing it was, not so sure if it is though. Well, according to that, Reed is a second ahead of Herrera, so that could well have been for position then. Have a look, see what everybody else is up to. Ovi 3rd, and his 2nd, Nigel Lee is still leading the way in 1st. I should think it'll be a lap or 2 and then Lee will be in for his final stop of the day. It'll be a very quick stop. Obviously only having to get about 10 minutes worth of fuel in the car, which isn't a lot, and as we say that Lee is making his way into pit lane now. Only 40 kilometers an hour here. So the question is, where is this going to put Lee in regards to Ellis, Ovi and Reed? He's reached his pit box, no tyres are going on. Ellis has apparently already gone through into the lead. Ovi doing the same, going into 2nd, so this is going to put Lee 3rd at the minute. On his way he goes. So a 55.9 second stop for Lee. Rejoining in 3rd at the minute. Reed not able to make anything up from the pit stops, as Reed is in the wall as well. That's not going to help. How much of the car has he lost in doing so? Herrera going through. Can Reed get the car going again? Does get the car going again. So Reed is going to have lost a lot of time to his teammate Lee now. And Larsson is apparently 3rd. Not sure where he's come from after his mistake earlier in the race. But either way, he's looking like he could be on the podium. This, of course, is going to drop VTR a long way behind RLD in the team standings. Hitting a bit of Reed's debris left on the side of the track there, actually. 11 minutes remaining. So if Larson does manage to come third, then that's a good fight back through the field from him. Being way down in 8th and a lap behind at one point. Nobody's really with anybody at the minute. They're all kind of spread out, about 10 seconds behind each other or so. Andrew Jones rounding off the field in 9th. 5 laps down, 2 laps behind. Matt Bai was 8th, 3 laps down. Only 3 drivers on the lead lap with 10 minutes to go, which is of course Ellis, Ovi and Larson. Big brake lock up ahead. Not sure who that is ahead of. Oh, it's Ovi ahead of Larson, I think. No, it's not Ovi on track ahead. Could be Andrew Jones then. Nigel Lee, 18 seconds behind Jan Larson. Reed, whoa, looks like we've got a big crash up ahead. There's Lee's involved in that. Lee's missing the rear of his car. Matt Bai's in there, Jones is in there. What happened there? Oh, Lee got it all wrong through the chicane, that was all his fault. And Jones came round, nowhere to go. That could well have cost Lee quite a bit of time here and possibly a decent position, because Lee is missing a lot of the car. Lee's down to 5th and going to be struggling that thing around. Still profiting from that to get up into 4th. That would be a good result from him if he can get that. But at the minute it's RLD still leading the way with 1 and 2. Alice and Obi. On board with Ovi. 9.7 seconds behind Ellis at the minute. Through the flat out right hander. I don't think Ovi will be reaching his top speed at this stage in the race. It's about 10 km an hour off it at the minute. Of course the tyres are pretty much done for towards the end of the stint. Plenty of accidents happened through this final chicane over the race. What's Nigel Lee doing now? He's still going. I'm amazed Lee is managing to get that car around the track with so little of the bodywork remaining on that thing. He's got Herrera and Reed right behind him. Lee's going to struggle to get around this right-hander. Reed makes his way through and up into 6th place he goes. Amazing, we've got no retirements yet, but I think Lee could add to that list very shortly. Unless he can keep it going for 6 more laps. So Larson is pitting, so he's going to move Steele, Herrera and Reed up, I think. It's a quick stop from Larson though. Already on his way out. But where's it going to put him? I think he's going to stay in a 3rd, you know. Ellis making his way through, so Larson loses another lap. It's going to be a fight between... Oh, Reed's actually got Herrera, I think, through the chicane. Herrera's still alongside though. This is going to be tricky. Move is made, the slight contact. Herrera pulling away down the straight, managing to get back ahead. But Herrera's gone way too deep. Perhaps the tyres are gone for Herrera now, and Reed does get the move made now, I think. Where's Herrera? He's not going to try and move into the final chicane. Surely no, he's not. Backs out of that wisely. So Ellis is first, Ovi is second, Steele is up to 3rd. That'll be a good result for BKM if he can hold on to that. James Reed is 4th, Herrera is 5th, Nigel Lee 6th, Jan Larson 7th after his stop, and Matt Bay is 8th, Andrew Jones still circulating in 9th. And getting the brakes all locked up, nearly running into Reed there. It's still 3rd, 1 lap down though. And Ovi is only 6 seconds behind Ellis now. I think he's managed to close that gap. Sounds like he's saving quite a bit of fuel. Obviously they're trying to do this on a one-stopper by the looks of things, so... Another yellow flag out there. Who's in the walls this time? Looks like it's on the start-finish straight. Not sure who it is. Lee coming back through on Herrera. No, he's not. Both of them in the wall. How is Lee still going without a rear wing? I do not know. Matt Bay is retired. He's called it a day. And that is why. Into the wall, car on fire. That ends yet another miserable race for Matt Bay. And Herrera's retired as well. Looks like Lee has finally given up and pitted. Oh, Herrera just going straight on at the hairpin and into the wall. Another retirement for him. Did the same last year in a different part of the track. So we're only going to have 7 finishers by the looks of things. And look at Ovi, he's only 3 seconds behind Ellis now. He's going to have about 3, possibly 4 laps of the race to go. This has been a very bizarre race with plenty of incidents, not so much overtaking, people moving up through pit stops and accidents along the way. Larson, of course, losing the lead after an early mistake, and Lee towards the end of the race looking to be in a good position, making a mistake into the final chicane as well. Just 1 minute 45 to go. Still ever so slightly quicker than Ovi there, but he's not going to be catching him. He's a lap down. Now Ovi is actually catching Ellis at quite a rapid rate, but whether Ovi's going to make a move and take the lead away from Ellis, I'm not sure, because Ellis is the one that is only 11 behind Larson at the minute. So of course if Ellis wins this, he's going to get within a point or two. In fact, he's going to be about 1 point behind Larson, I think, at the minute. Looks like Reed's catching Steele, actually. Only 30 seconds to go. He's still going to have a podium position taken away from him. Looks like he could do, because Reed's already caught him, and he's not going to be long before he's passed. It'll still be a good result for Steele wherever he finishes, whether third or fourth. Larson is 15 seconds behind Steele, so providing Steele does not make a mistake, I think Steele will stay where he is. Whether it'll be third or fourth, I'm not sure, because Reed is all over the back of him. And he's got a much better drive out that corner. Just trying to find a way through at the minute. It's a very tight track to overtake on. Not long to go for Ellis and Ovi till they take a 1-2. I think that is the penultimate corner there. Oh no, it's not. Not just yet. Reed's still not found a way through past Steele though. He has done now. And he's having to pit. So Reed gets past Steele and then has to come into the pits because he's not put enough fuel into the car by the looks of things. Or has Reed got a penalty actually? I think Reed may have picked up a drive-through penalty. So Ellis and Ovi, through the final chicane they come. Take a 1-2 for Team RLD with a one-stop strategy. Steele looks like he's going to come home to finish third if he can keep it going. He's got nobody behind him that's going to challenge him. Lee is finished fifth, James Reed dropping down to sixth after the drive-through penalty by the looks of things. And Larson should be finishing the race very shortly, which means that Steele will pick up third for BKM. Good result for them after a poor couple of races and a return to GSC for them. Around the final corner, Steele comes home to take third. Larson's going to be fourth. And he is so. Lee fifth, already finished. Sixth he's going to go to James Reed, who can't find his way through Ellis and Ovi, who are doing donuts at the minute. So those are your standings after 41 laps. Ovi just 0.5 seconds behind Ellis in the end, and then it's Steele, Larson, Lee, Reed, Jones, Herrera and Mackay. Herrera and Mackay of course retiring from the race. Reed hasn't actually finished yet. But I'm sure he'll be sixth nonetheless. just coming up to the final corner now. And what could have been third for Reed turned into sixth with what I presume to be was a drive-through penalty, so that rounds out the race here in Salvador. A very, very different and very strange race, I must say. Next on the calendar is of course going to be Longerina for round 5, and that will be in 2 weeks time. No, it won't, it'll be in 1 week time, sorry. Next Saturday. And of course tomorrow we've got the F1 Mallorca DTM Championship from Spa, so join us then at 10 o'clock UK time, 11 in Europe, and 5 PM if you are in EST. So thanks for joining us everybody, and we shall see you all tomorrow if you're interested in DTM. If not, then join us again next week for round 5 of the GSC Championship.